Joseph Smith recorded several different accounts of his first vision in an American prophet's record, the Diaries and Journals of Joseph Smith. Smith's earliest account mentions Jesus appearing, but does not include God the Father. Some have an angel appearing, while others have multiple angels. But the official vision of the LDS Church has God the Father and Jesus appearing. However, since this vision is dated prior to Smith's ordination to the priesthood, this would conflict with Joseph's writings in section 84, where he says, "Without the authority of the priesthood, no man can see the face of God, even the Father, and live." Even so, there are 9 varying accounts of this divine first vision, differing on the date, who appeared, and what the message was. The first vision is considered the foundation and cornerstone of the Mormon religion. It is the turning point when Joseph Smith became a prophet of God and began his life's work of turning Christians away from the false churches that had been created after the decline of the Apostolic Church. And yet the discrepancy of these visions and the lack of unity between the LDS Church of today and Brigham Young leaves us questioning the authenticity of Joseph's first vision.
Our whole strength rests on the validity of that vision. It either occurred or it did not occur. If it did not, then this work is a fraud. If it did, then it is the most important and wonderful work under the heavens.
The amazing thing about those who have placed their trust in Joseph Smith, they must understand that he was a 14-year-old boy when he supposedly first had this visitation, and that the kinds of stories that he proclaimed, well, he was known around the country as a fabricator of stories. His own mother was somewhat concerned. And when he got married, his father-in-law didn't really want anything to do with him because he was known as a fabricator of stories.
When we was investigating the first vision, this was supposed to be a monumental thing to the Mormon Church. But then we found out there was different versions of it that the church didn't tell us about. They've got one standardized version now that you can find in most of the Mormon literature that is up to date now. But to me, that something that was so monumental, if God was to come and talk to me, I think I could probably get most of the story straight.
The founding claim of Mormonism is that in 1820, God and Jesus appeared to Joseph Smith to prepare him for the ministry of bringing forth the true church in the last days. However, we find historically that he told many different accounts of that experience. The dates differ, the who appears differs, the message that's given to him differs, and so when we examine those things, it doesn't sound like someone relating a real experience.
It is most likely these inconsistencies which led Brigham Young in 1855 to preach a sermon in which he denied that the Lord came to Joseph Smith in the first vision. Young stated that Joseph had actually been visited by an angel, which informed him that he should not join any of the religious sects of the day. According to Wesley Walters' booklet, New Light on Mormon Origins, Joseph Smith continually changed the accounts of his vision depending on whom he was talking to at the time. There should be no confusion about where and when such a heavenly event took place. Did Joseph Smith actually have a vision? Or did he build an entire religion upon his known talent of storytelling?
If big buildings and money and financial power and prestige in the world is the thing, and programs, the Mormon Church is way ahead, no question. But if it's about the truth, if that's what ultimately all this is about, the Mormon Church fails miserably. And it starts with their founder, Joseph Smith.